All right, because I haven't been on the microphone in a long time. Even in the chat room, I've been typing entry ideas because I've got this horrible cough that just won't go away. I spent about a week being sick, and I feel pretty good now, but if I talk for more than 5 minutes, I just lose it and start coughing, and it's pretty annoying. So, first video in a long time. All right, Best Buy, super beaten up on the daily. My call for the chat room today on Best Buy was up over this area right here. Thought that would get us through the high of the day and then maybe take out last week's high and get us going. So my entry idea was 1188, somewhere around this red line. Worst case stop 1179, so right there. So only 9 cents risk. This was only my one of only a few ideas I had today. So look what happens. Trigger's right there. Hits 1188. Meanders for about a half hour, but doesn't come close to stopping out. And then finally releases for us right there. And just ends up climbing almost the rest of the day. Makes it to 12.59. A 71 cent move in our favor on 9 cents risk. Really nice trade there. And that one made my day. Let's see. I also called JRCC early. Here I go. Over this little inside candle right here. The entry idea was 274 with a stop at 265, and there's a trigger, and it went up through 280, and on an early trade I was a seller of some, and it ended up going a little bit higher, but ended up not doing much after that. Never stopped out. Did give us some chance for profits, and I made a little bit on, but not very much, not enough to brag about on that one. And then we had the SMS pick. I couldn't have picked a worse stock for this one. MMR. This thing was beaten up, okay, and it looked about like this when I called it, okay, and this is for the SMS service that we have, where it's grinding down lower all day, and then it had that shape change, nice volume, and had support at 11, and my thinking was it might not get to 11, so I'm going to call it here. Remember, they're wider stops, and that would have kept us in even if it did get down to 11. This is for the SMS pick, so people who are at work and can get a text and place a wider stop, and these are meant to be traded small, as we say in the instructions. Excuse me, for those members. So I called it around 11:23, and ends up coming down and hitting 11, and we ended up calling it at about 11:04 right here for our chat room for a trade. So this is the difference between being able to be there to place day trades versus trying to handle it via SMS pick. Now, we've had pretty good success with the SMS pick, but today certainly not. I couldn't have picked a weaker stock. Anyway, we called this around 11:04, and it quickly went through 11:26, something like that, and I got a nice 15-20 cent scalp on pretty good size there in a chat room for the trade, but the SMS pick stopped out. Look at this thing. It just couldn't. It did get some news there and got some crazy 2.5 million share spike over the course of a couple minutes. But then ended up closing down here at the low of the day. So this stopped out. It was a horrible SMS pick. I actually traded this 2 or 3 times today, long every time, which is embarrassing when you look at the daily candle, but I made money on it every time. Went long here at 11:04, was the seller in the 11:20s. I went long here again over this little narrow candle at 11:77, and it ended up grinding for about 30 minutes, went up to 11:95, and I was a seller in the green area over here too. And killed the rest when it came back to my entry. So I actually traded this twice. Sorry, it made money both times, but certainly this was one I should have been on the short side. And I didn't do anything with this. We did have some members find their way into this on this volume spike, but I never did take a trade on that one. So I believe that was it for the day. A couple MMR trades and the Best Buy trade. Some people also, I mentioned no, not Foster Wheeler, First Solar. I mentioned First Solar when it looked like this, that a high of day break could work, okay, which would have been over this candle right here, 25.09, and look at that, went to 25.40, so a nice spike there, actually went higher than that, and we had some members make money off that as well, and I believe that was all my calls for the day. I'm having to ease my way back into trading after being sick for a while, but certainly Best Buy made my day. And a couple, I had some size on that first MMR bounce trade for 20 cents too. So I had a decent day, but certainly taking my time getting my feet wet again here. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. I'll feel a little bit more comfortable trading tomorrow now that we've got a day behind us where now I can go scan for some unusual volume that happened today and maybe find some nice setups for tomorrow's trading. Last week all I had was holiday volume to deal with, so there weren't a lot of standouts. So hopefully tonight when I run my scans, we can find some nice setups for tomorrow's trading. All right, have a good night. We'll talk to you later.